Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Dragon Ball Shot. Today I'm giving you guys a video that is kind of weird putting up. I wanted to print this out, but I couldn't get my printer connected to this computer and print out the papers and then have like a news reporter reading this shit, because that would be awesome. For maybe for the next one, if you guys like this, we can do more. But I thought of this the other day, about last week or so. Let's do some Dragon Ball Z fan fiction readings. I know, crazy, right? I don't have the text on here. I'll leave a link to it down below. If you really want to read along, I think it's funnier if you don't see the text. But this one is definitely an 18 plus reading. You wanna not be a kid listening to this. But we're gonna read this. We're gonna read it. I'm not gonna be a terrible reader either. Okay, so it's called Forsaken Love. That already gives you an indication. It was in the category called Lemon. I don't know what lemon means. I'm not hip with the kids, I guess. Okay. Staring out the window in horror, I watched as my home planet was destroyed. This is Vegeta reading, by the way. I silently cried for the friends and family I lost, hating the monsters that killed them, feeling no emotion but hate in my heart. I wanted to pound the person liable for the destruction and pain, crying to the point of nothing coming out of my tear ducts. I lay down in the dark, cold cell that I was thrown into. Closing my eyes, I did not realize how tired I was, and I slowly stepped into darkness. Jumping at the sound of a large noise, I awoke and tried to rub the sleep from my eyes and look around. Suddenly, I saw a man standing in the soft light of the door to my cell. He had yellow eyes and green skin. Creepy, I thought as I eyed him warily. The man started to move closer, and I tried to make myself one with the wall as much as possible, but it wasn't happening. The scary man grabbed my arm roughly and jerked me up and down, almost jerked my arm out of the socket. I screamed in pain, and my instinct was to try to get away from him, but the grip he had me was unbearable. And I almost wasn't gonna make it any worse on myself by fighting. Being dragged, I feared that I would die soon. I kept my head down, then started to fight. "Stop that, wench!" The guy turned and slapped me into the wall in the small corridor of the ship. "Fuck you," I spat at as I tasted blood in my mouth. I glared up at him with hate and revenge in my eyes, and I knew that he would be able to see it. If he killed me at this point, I had nothing to live for, so I didn't care. The guy looked at me with such lust and amusement, and I almost barfed. I'm getting a little bit cringy myself right now. Just thinking of this disgusting man touching me like that made me sick to my stomach, and I didn't like the fact of being raped. Especially with me being a virgin. Oh, come on! Let's keep reading. Holy crap, I didn't know this was bad. Okay, back to reading. This man grabbed me more roughly than ever before and started to drag me again in the direction he was heading. The boss would like your feistiness, bitch. You would probably be begging him for more, the man stated as he glanced back at me. No one is going to fucking touch me, I growled as he smirked. Finally, he opened a door to what looked like a control room. He threw me in front of a short guy with a tail, which I assumed was the boss. I snorted when I sat up on my knees and got a full view of him. The guy that brought me got on one knee and was bowing to the man who was watching me. "What is your name?" the man asked in a female-like voice. "Why in the fuck do you care?" I stated back with venom dripping from my words. He slapped me and I flew into the wall again. He walked up to me and grabbed my chin roughly and turned my head to face him. I ask again, "My dear, what is your name? And don't push my buttons." Bulma, I stated regretfully, wishing that I made up a name. So let's just hold the reading for a second. I thought this was Vegeta. I guess this makes the story way less weird, but still kind of strange, you know? Okay, we're gonna continue on. He smiled. "How old are you?" He asked another question, irritating me. "I am 17, fucktard, and I am a virgin. Anything else you want to know, you fucking perverted, ugly, bah." I didn't get out the rest of my sentence when I felt a kick to the ribs. Pain searing into my brain, I screamed loudly and got into the fetal position. "Zarbon!" "Yes, Master Frieza." Oh my god. The guy that brought me here said, "So his name is Zarbon." I thought as I looked at him. "Take her to the apes as my little gift. They can kill her if she doesn't fulfill her duty to them," Frieza stated and turned to look out the window of the ship. I started to slowly slip in and out of consciousness. I felt Zarbon pick me up, and then I saw nothing. The door opened and Zarbon stepped into the Saiyan's quarters. With an unconscious Bulma in his arms, he dumped her on the floor in front of the Saiyan Prince Vegeta. "This is a gift from Frieza. He expects you to make good use of her, my prince," Zarbon stated as he turned to leave the room. He stopped, then turned his head to look over his shoulder. "She's a pretty thing, I must say. I wouldn't let Nappa or Raditz get a hold of her. They would kill her for sure," he said as he walked out the door. Vegeta looked down at the tattered and bloodied body of a girl at his feet. She looked Saiyan, but her blue hair meant she was from another planet, probably that Earth woman I heard about. He picked her up and took her to his room, laid her on his bed. He went into the bathroom and turned on the water and started filling a bathtub. He went back to his room and started to remove her tattered clothes from her beaten body. Once removed, he took her to the bathroom and set her in the tub. He started to wash the blood away and rinse her off. Vegeta got towels and dried her off after he drained the tub. He pushed the thoughts out of his head as he dried her vulnerable wounds. Well, this turned out really, completely different than what I was assuming. And then we have a little bit of, what looks like poetry here, but still part of the story. You'll see it, okay. "Despite the lies that you're making, your love is mine for the taking. My love is waiting to turn your tears to roses." Lifting up her brittle style, Vegeta got some sweatpants and a shirt to put on her and laid her on the bed. He covered her up and stood up. He hated to agree with Zarbon, but she was beautiful. "Despite the lies you're making, your love is mine for the taking. Your love is mine, is waiting to turn your tears to roses." Vegeta looked at the blue-haired girl and smirked. She was their gift from Frieza, and he was not going to deny her, but he would stop Nappa and Frieza from getting her. Sensing familiar keys, Vegeta sighed and put a scowl back on his face. "I will be the one that's going to hold you. I will be the one that you run to. My love is a burning, consuming fire." He turned and locked the door to his head so they wouldn't just burst through and see the defenseless girl lying next to him. The spiky-haired prince laid next to her and put his arms around her, and he pulled her towards his body protectively. "You'll never be alone when darkness comes. I'll light the night with stars, hear my whispers in the dark." Vegeta nuzzled her neck, taking in her scent, and he smirked into her hair. He closed his eyes and tried to clear his head of all that happened. Lifting the blanket, Vegeta climbed in to keep the woman warm in his heart. No, you'll never be alone when darkness comes. I'll light the night with stars. My heart whispers in the night. Darkness whispers in the dark. He remembered that her body looked like when the nasty lizard man Zarbon brought her to him. He shuddered and instantly got angry. No, you'll never be alone when darkness comes. I'll light the night with stars' heart. My whispers in the darkness in the dark. He remembered what her body looked like when the nasty lizard man Zarbon brought her to him. He shuddered and instantly got angry. You feel so lonely and ragged. You lay here broken and naked, my love is just waiting to clothe you with crimson roses. Vegeta cuddled closer to her and wrapped his tail around her waist and squeezed gently. I will be the one that's going to find you. I be the one that's going to guide you. My love is burning, consuming fire. The more Vegeta thought about the blue-haired beauty, the more the knot in his chest tightened in almost unbearable pain, and the anger it brought him. No, you'll never be alone when darkness comes. I'll light the stars, hear my whispers in the dark. Vegeta clenched his teeth in the anger he got. No, you'll never be alone when darkness comes. I'll light the night with stars, hear my whispers in the dark. He wanted to make them pay for harming an innocent child, barely an adult. He sensed her over and found she was still pure and innocent, which he sighed in relief. No, you'll never be alone when darkness comes. I'll light the night with stars, hear my whispers in the dark. He got up out of bed, though his tail protested at leaving the warmth. He got up and went to the bathroom to get a shower and clean the smell of the woman off him as he had thought of what she had went through. No, you'll never be alone when darkness comes. I'll light the night with stars, hear my whispers in the dark. He got on a new suit of armor and walked out of the door, never giving the girl that laid in his bed a second glance. But she would be on his mind for the rest of the time she spent with him, and he knew it. Although he didn't regret it, it was his honor to help the child. Whispers in the dark. He growled at Nappa and Raditz as he passed them in the corridor. They looked at him and decided to follow. Something had obviously pissed him off bad enough to growl menacingly at them. Whispers in the dark. Don't worry, beautiful. I'll protect your innocence for as long as I can. Once that time comes, I'll have to prove that you are being used for that which you were intended. Vegeta thought quietly to himself as he entered the command room to the ship where the one person he hated stood. Whispers in the dark. Oh, okay. I'm not a guy that reads this fan. That's it. That's the end of the story. Check it out down below and support the author. But I'm not a person that reads these ever. This is like the first real fan fiction I've sat down and read. I can't say that it was, it was definitely an experience. Link me these on Twitter, on my Facebook page if you want me to do more of these. Give this video a like if you want to. If you don't want these, just either say it, dislike the video. I'll have some, actually even better, I'll have a poll on the top right of your video box. And you can click that and vote. Do you want more of these or do you not want more of these? There'll be a voting box up there. So, this was weird saying this. Hopefully I didn't read terribly. But thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.